Hey everybody, happy Sunday. I thought I'd come on today to do another video. I uploaded a video yesterday talking about the UFO and Pentagon footage that was shared by the news outlets on last week. And I talked about how that ties into, how that might tie into the end times. Um, what I shared yesterday was not what the Lord said or anything out of the Word of God. It was just my opinion. So if you want to listen to that video, go back to the previous video, the last one that I uploaded, and listen. Well, I just wanted to talk to you today about, kind of give you a little bit more biblical biblical perspective about what I shared on yesterday regarding the UFO coverage. If you go back and you listen to the video I uploaded yesterday, I talk about how I believe that what people are calling alien abductions or seeing UFOs are actually falling angels or demons, and it's actually the devil. So I talk about that. Um, and I talk about how I believe that it is true when they say that these are otherworldly entities. They're not of this world. They are of the spiritual world. So they are otherworldly. They're not extraterrestrial. I don't believe they're from other planets, but I do believe that they are from other dimensions or other worlds, such as the spirit world. This is true. We have, I would call it interdimensional. We have interdimensional beings coming in and out of our earth all the time. They're called angels. They're called demons. So they come in and out, and God will take us from out of this realm into his spiritual realm, his spiritual world, spiritual dimension, when he wants to show us things in heaven. You hear about people talking about they were allowed to see certain parts of heaven, or they had a encounter with the Lord or an experience with the Lord. My glasses are really dirty. Can y'all see that? I need to clean my glasses. But anyway, so so they have these, people have these spiritual experiences. People have near death experiences. I believe in those also, because I believe that um, these are happening because many people have said that they've had these experiences, and the doctors have even said that people have told them about these experiences. And so I know these things that are happening are real. So kind of give you a biblical perspective of why I believe um, in the UFOs, or why I believe in um, beings, things from other dimensions, is in the Bible. If you look at Ezekiel, Ezekiel talks about what he saw. He talks about he saw these things that were like wheels within a wheel, and he talks about he saw these beings that looked like they had the likeness of a man, but they had like faces, different animal faces, and he talks about their feet were not man's feet, but they were like hooves. And so when I think about what Ezekiel was describing, a wheel within a wheel, and how this thing that these beings were in, how they had eyes all around them, I really do think about an aerial vessel, some type of vessel in the sky. Because when he talks about the eyes around it or on it, I think about windows. When he talks about how they were moving, it makes me think about how a UFO or something that flies in the air would move. When he talks about when he describes what was coming out of this thing, it to me it seems fire, um, like fire or some kind of exhaust or some kind of fire that's coming out of it. When he talks about the beings and how they were dressed and how they looked, when he talks about how they had faces that were You know, when he turned one way, there was a face. He turned another way, there was a face. He turned another way, there was a face. I think about a helmet. When I think about when he talks about how the wings were on these people, I think about or on these beings. I'm not gonna call them people. I'll just say beings. When he talks about how the wings, like I think he said they covered them in one spot and they were on him in the back, and I think he said they had like four wings, and this is how he described them. But I think of it as maybe they had on um, some type of uniform or outfit or whatever. And when he talks about hooves, that they weren't like man feet. If you think back in Ezekiel, now you have to understand that Ezekiel is describing this stuff in his language, his vocabulary, what he knows in his life, in his world that surrounds him, what he's seen. So when he says he sees something round moving, he calls it a wheel, right? When he sees exhausts of fire coming from it, he's gonna say fire. When he sees, so I'm thinking that when he saw a helmet, he described it as he saw it, like it had the face of an eagle, I think, and I think it had a face of a man, and then it had another face. I think of a helmet, and then when you think about it, it might not have been a face. It could have been a helmet that had symbols on it. Maybe it had an eagle symbol. Maybe it had another symbol of another animal. Maybe the face that he was talking about was his actual face that he was seeing in this helmet. And this is how Ezekiel described it. Maybe the outfit that Ezekiel had on, that the being had on, Ezekiel described it the way he described it, but it was just an outfit, because Ezekiel, what he knows in his time is the clothes that they wear, the clothes that the Romans wear, the clothes that the people around him wear. When I think about when he talks about the hooves, and this is what really got me, Ezekiel in his time was used to people wearing sandals. I even think in the days of Jesus, when the Romans were in power, they wore sandals. They didn't wear boots. They wore sandals. So when you see their feet, you see their toes, you see their whole foot. Ezekiel had never seen anything like a boot. So I believe what Ezekiel saw was a boot. These beings were wearing some type of boot. And the only way that Ezekiel knew how to describe it, because he'd never seen it before, was he said that it was hooves. Because when you think about it. If you had never saw a boot before, and you all of a sudden you saw it on a person's foot, you would say that it was like a hoof, because hooves look like one big foot, right? Without any toes. And that's what a boot looks like. And I might be going too deep into this, but this is really what I've been thinking about lately. That I believe that these things are real. And I believe that we're going to have some kind of experience with beings in aerial vehicles from another dimension. I've already said in the previous video, I believe Jesus is coming back to get us in some type of aerial vessel. And I also believe that I was waving at my neighbor. I also believe that the fallen angels or devil demons, that they also are in these vessels. I think right now that even right now the devil is setting up his system so that the Antichrist can come to power. And right now, I think that the Antichrist, I know he's alive right now. And what he's doing, what I believe that the Antichrist is doing, and how he's going to come to power, just like Jesus, when he comes back and he, after tribulation, and he destroys the devil, the Antichrist and his allied armies, and he takes over and he rules and reigns over the whole earth. Jesus is going to rule and reign over the whole earth. Well, the Antichrist is going to try to rule and reign over the whole earth during the tribulation time. But that's going to end because Jesus is going to come back and Jesus is going to defeat him. But he's going to take over through a system, and the system it's in place already. And all that has to happen is things has to fall in place, like chaos in the world and stuff falling apart so bad that the world needs a savior and will be happy to give over control to someone that they feel is going to be a peacemaker or they feel can solve the world's problems. Now, we already know that the Pope is talking about, is bringing different religions, different faiths together under the topic or disguise of unity, in the name of unity. And a lot of them have come together and signed a document that they would stand together in unity, or they will be unified. The Pope has spoken at I think 1 year. I don't know if it was this past New Year's, but one New Year's, it's been within the past 2 years. He spoke, I think, he remoted in by satellite, and he spoke to Franklin's congregation, and he is a non-denominational preacher here in America. And so the Pope, I don't know if Jensen signed any papers. I don't think he did. I didn't see him there that day when I was watching the video of all the different religions that were signed. But I know Hindus signed, all these different religions, they signed that document. So everything is being put into place. And right now, even right now, the Antichrist is alive. And I think the way he's going to come to power, he's going to come to power through a group, either NATO or some group that's going to be formed or that's already formed, that has a lot of power when it comes to the decisions that are made for the world as a whole. And he is going to be the head, and he is going to lead them. He's going to lead all the other nations, which is going to make him be a leader, because he's going to have a big influence over these people because they're going to trust him. That's how he's going to come to power. It's not like he's going to lead and have power through other people. So because he has the power over the nation's leaders, he's going to have power over the people who are under those leaders. And this is how he's going to come to power and have power. So I don't know who he is, but I know he's alive now, and he's probably in his middle age years. I would say 40s or 50s. And he's just waiting. He's buying his time, and he's waiting, because everything is falling into place. And there is nothing else. I don't think there's anything else that needs to happen in order for him to come to power, to come out. I think it's just a waiting game right now. I think things haven't gotten bad enough yet, but I do think that what's going on in America now is part of the process, because America has to be brought down low from its status in the world. People can't look towards America as the peacemaker, as the country that the superpower that runs in and rescues everyone. America can't be seen as powerful anymore, and that's what's happening right now with Donald Trump becoming president, and him pulling out of a lot of deals that's going on with as far as the world. Him talking about the allies, like he talked about the allies. All of this is diminishing America's how the world sees America. And I believe that even when we get another president in after him, it's already tarnished, and it's never going to be the same. So yeah, I just wanted to share that with you guys, and just want to tell you guys just keep watching, be watchful, be watchmen.